Geoff Neal against Santiago Ponzinibbio. Ooh. Yeah, a hard one to pick this one. I've got Ponzinibbio, again, experience. I mean, Geoff Neal's 13-4, Ponzinibbio's 28-4. He had a rough one against the Leech when he came back after, because he was really ill, wasn't he? He was out for a long time.
I read into it the other day, because I knew he was out for a while, but it was like one thing after the other, like infections, like bacteria infections and like blood infections and stuff. And
lost a bunch of weight. And,
close to, dying almost, I think, at one point.
But he was on a really good streak. I mean, you look from that Lorenz Larkin loss back in 2015. He was on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He was on a 7-fight win streak, beating Gunnar Nelson, Mike Perry, and Neil Magny in that process. And then he had all that time out, lost a load of weight, recovered, then came back against the Leech and was just super confident for that fight. And the Leech just caught him with that clean left hook. I mean, I felt bad for him because you could see when he stood up, he was like, "Oh, this was not how it was supposed to go." I think he was expecting just to pick up his momentum again and just keep going. But then, I know Miguel Baez's got a lot less experience, but I think he's a very good fighter, and I do think that Santiago's just a little bit too good for Geoff Neal. I think his reach is a bit too much, his speed is a bit too good. And I think his self-confidence carries him a long way.
Yeah.
And you've got to think Geoff Neal's coming off a couple of losses as well. Lost to Neil Magny, lost to Wonderboy. It's like he's hit his ceiling, and that's where it is. And I think Ponzinibbio's above that.
Yeah. I actually went the other way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Go on then, tell me why.
I went for Geoff Neal because I thought against Baeza, he looked a little slow.
Ponzinibbio, yeah.
Yeah, Ponzinibbio looked a little slow, and he was getting caught and he was getting hurt. And I think Geoff Neal's got a lot more power than Baeza. And if you'd have caught him with the same kind of strikes, it would have been a bit different.
I hear you.
And
He's got a 2-inch reach advantage as well, Geoff Neal.
Yeah, and he comes crashing forward quite a lot with throwing a lot of strikes, big heavy strikes as well. And I think he might just catch him. I do like Ponzinibbio, but I don't think he's the same person he was before.
No, yeah,
no.
Okay.
I just think he's slowed down a little bit, and I think that showed in the Baeza fight. And I think Geoff Neal's a bit quicker and like goes in with a lot, and I think he might just catch him.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
a justified pick. I've still got Ponzinibbio though.
It was hard to pick because I do like Ponzinibbio. And, like, man, before he was ill and was out, but I think the division changed quite a bit in that time out as well.
Yeah, good point.